Here begins week 5 how-to video, week 5 quiz how-to video, which covers week 6 countdown. Looking at the triangle on the right, what is the length of the hypotenuse? Well, this is a right triangle, which means we can use Pythagorean theorem, which is to say the two legs squared and added together gives you the length of side C squared. Add those together, excuse me, and we have 97 equals C squared. Square root both, and you get root 97, which is approximately 9.85, and our units are feet. It was squared until you took the square root, and it just became feet. What is the value of tangent? Now this comes from SOHCAHTOA. Sine is so, cosine is ka, and toa is for tangent. Toa means opposite or adjacent. So if we're looking from theta, which is this theta here, tangent of that would give you opposite, which would be side 4, over adjacent, which is side 9. Again, when you're looking from that angle, this is opposite, this is adjacent, and this is hypotenuse, always. 4/9 can be written as approximately 0.44. What is the area of the triangle? Well, the formula for the area of the triangle is 1/2 base times height. So 1/2 times base, which is given to you as 9, times height, which is given to you as 4, and that gives you 18. Units would be feet. We're finding area, we multiplied, so we have square. So 18 square feet. The probability that a randomly chosen Minnesotan is 65 or older is 0.12. Which expression represents the probability that in a group of 3 randomly chosen Minnesotans, 2 are 65 or older, and 1 is younger than 65? So the probability of getting 2 people 65 or older is 0.12 for the first one, 0.12 for the second one, and you have 2 choices. You have older, which is 0.12, and the other, which is younger. So if you subtract those 2, you get 0.88. So if the probability of getting someone older than 65 is 0.12, and the probability of getting someone younger than them is 0.88, whatever adds up to 1. And it is the product of these 3 things that gives you the probability. And none of these on the left represent this as is, unless of course we notice that there's 2 of those, and we can write that as squared, which would give you C. The central angle of a circle measures pi/4. If the radius of a circle is 8 feet, what's the length of the arc? Now, arc length we use with proportions, but we normally don't have radian measures like pi/4 here. We usually have degrees. But we can still do the same proportion and say pi/4 is the piece, it's a central angle, over the whole thing. Now, in radians, a full circle is 2 pi. Half a circle is pi. This would be pi/2, and this would be 3 pi/2. A unit circle has radius 1, so all the way around is 2 pi. That's a full circle. Just like 360 is a full circle in degrees. But this is in radians. So pi/4 out of 2 pi. equals an unknown arc length over the total arc or circumference. Now this has radius 8, so circumference equals 2 pi r, which would give you 16 pi. 2 times your radius, which is 16. If you cross multiply, you would get pi over 4 times 16 pi over 1, just to kind of put them as fractions. So pi over 4 times 16 pi divided by 2 pi. It looks messy, but let's clean that up. If we multiply these together, we get 16 pi r, or pi squared, there's 2 of them, over 4, all over 2 pi. But again, 16 can be simplified with 4, which gives you 4 pi squared over 2 pi. We have 2 pi's above, 1 below, so they cancel and simplify. 4 and 2 simplify, which gives you 2 pi. A complicated way of looking at it, radian measures a nice, it's a better unit for arc length, but something we're not very familiar with, but we'll go with this method at this time. Number 4, which statement best describes the relationship between y equals 3x squared and y equals 3x squared minus 5? Now we've had a question like this in the past. Notice that they are very similar except for this piece right here. And what that does is it translates a graph. It would translate it 5 units. It would translate this function 5 units down. So this one's left. That's not right. This one's right. That one's not correct. And here's down. That's the one we want. And up is not right. Number 5, we have a deck of cards, 10 cards each. Okay, so it's not a standard deck of 52, but 10 cards each of red, blue, green, and yellow. If he chooses 2 cards from the deck, what's the probability that he gets 2 reds? Alright, well, there's 10 red cards. There's 10 of each color, so there's 40 total cards. This is the probability of getting 1 red card. If you pull a card out and keep it in your hand and then reach to pull another red card, there would only be 9 red cards left out of 39 cards. So this is the probability of getting a second red card. And we would multiply those two together. Now you can simplify those fractions if you wanted to before you multiplied, or just get 90 over 1,560, which is big, but if you work at it, it reduces down to 3 over 52. Now how do you write fractions? Well, 3 divided by 52, and just make sure you fill in appropriately. Division bar and 5/2. And this ends the how-to video.